Tim, certainly one of my motivators in looking for reality beyond the physical, be it God or anything else, is a recognition of our own finite lifetimes. Other people may, think they have enough of me, but I certainly don't have enough of myself as I look to the future. So clearly that's a motivation. But when I read some of the afterlife promises of certain religions, not that I believe them, but it's kind of thing, even if I believe them, they sound pretty horrible. I mean, I wouldn't want to be a drop in the ocean of consciousness that some Eastern religion. Now, maybe I should want that, and I'm told that that would be a wonderful experience, but somehow I don't want to lose my personal experience.
Yeah.
On the traditional Catholic view of the beatific vision, I would love to look at God and bask in it, but it doesn't seem like I'd want to just do that perpetually forever. So, help me out with this. If I would become a Catholic and pass the test,
it's a very low bar. We'll let you in right now.
Okay, well, if the reward is right, I'm ready to consider it. What is the end result? I mean, what do I get to do for eternity?
Yeah, I like the point you made. It reminds me of that movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. You remember?
Right.
He has to relive the same day over and over again,
exactly.
and it just seems boring and monotonous.
Right. And this is worse because you don't even got to move in the vision, because it's kind of this static, immobile, just absorbing of this beatific vision.
Well, that's certainly the way some people understand it, but I think you needn't understand it as we're all standing and staring and off into space at some ball of light or something. I'm not sure. But the question of boredom in heaven, I think, is a good question.
Yeah.
And people do raise it a fair bit. I think of it like this. If it were a limited, finite set of things we do, say there's basketball, there's playing choir, and there's playing your harp and singing in choir, and you have to do it for eternity, that sounds like maybe hell's like that. But if there's different sorts of things one can do, if there's different ways one can do it, different growth in virtue, different growth in personal relations, and as long as you can ever get closer and deeper in union with God, then I think if you can always get closer and deeper in union with God, there's always something to yearn for, closer to your beloved.
Okay, so the two things you're saying, and I want to dissect them. Let's deal with the second one first. They're getting closer to God. It sounds like Zeno's paradox or something. You're always getting closer to something you can never reach.
Yeah.
But you're, super close. So even though you're getting half the distance, it's a distinction without a difference. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
I think that the measure of distance between a human in virtue and a human's love and God's love is infinite. And so it needn't be that you get closer and closer, smaller and smaller. It could be a step up or an escalator that's always going up.
Okay.
And never getting
there.
Yeah, never getting there.
That sounds like hell. Because I'm always improving, but I know I'm never going to get there because I know it's way beyond anything that I can do.
Well, if you think of it like this, if you have a bucket and you want it to be full of water and the bucket's continually growing and it's important to you to keep it full of water, then you'll be happier the bigger the bucket gets. And it's not just a bucket of water. It's your love for the thing that loves you most in the world.
Okay. All right. So the second point would be that if there's the potential for avoiding boredom and doing new things in terms of relationships with others, not just with God, whatever these things are. I know there's a lot of speculation, universe and whatever. You have to assume there are sequences of events.
That's right.
And this is a critical difference because God's existence is, according to the tradition, is atemporal, without time. Nothing changes. But if you are going to be constantly growing in a virtue or value or doing different things, there has to be sequence of events, even if it's not the same kind of time we have now.
Yeah.
So you can not concede, but part of your scheme includes sequences of events in an eternal afterlife.
Absolutely. In fact, Christians are bound to affirm the resurrection of the dead, whereby we mean where souls are reunited to bodies, then they're judged. And so in that case, when you literally have a body, I don't know what it's going to be like. Sometimes in Scripture it looks like it can walk through walls. It can also eat fish. Who knows what it can do? But the thing is this, you'll have a physical body, and in virtue of that fact, you'll be temporal. You'll change across time.
But you'll still have incorruptible. You'll still be incorruptible, to use the King James word.
Yes. It'd be a very fancy body.
And so that the body would never die in that condition.
That's right. Yeah.
And beyond that, we don't know much.
Yeah, we get so little data that it's hard to say.